I'm often asked about first aid for someone with diabetes, and it's important to understand the difference between hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. I'm Emma Hammett from First Aid for Life and onlinefirstaid.com. So it is most common for you to find someone, help someone with a first aid emergency having a hypo. That is where they have low blood sugar. A hyper, so when their blood sugar has gone up, is one of the most common ways that diabetes is diagnosed at first. So maybe they will feel very thirsty, they'll feel lethargic, they'll be more prone to infections, they may be going to the loo far more often, and they may have some sort of a sort of acetone smell like pear drops on their breath. It's a slow rise, and that is very often the issue that causes them to then be diagnosed, and then they will be treated. So diabetes is when you're unable to regulate your blood sugar properly, and it can be that actually you're not making insulin at all, or your insulin's not working as well as it should, or maybe your body weight has meant that your insulin has to work harder than it's able to. As well. So there's all sorts of reasons, and there's type 1 and type 2, but I'm not going to go into that at the moment. So I'm going to focus on how to treat a hypo. Typically what happens is that somebody might have, woken up late and rushed out to work, missed breakfast, and they will come into the office having rushed, and they're feeling all flustered, and they are looking decidedly grumpy, and they're maybe a bit sort of not as sharp as they would normally be. Talk to them. They've had a rotten morning, but ask them, have you managed to have breakfast today? Is there something I can get you? If you know that they're diabetic, you may be just prompting them to say, actually, my blood sugar must have plummeted. Now, there's ways that they can check. There's ways that they can scan now. They used to do a fingerprint, some people still do, and they can do a urine test to check that's the case. But don't worry about that at the moment. So best thing is to get them something sugary into them quickly. So not a diet drink, but a sugary drink of some sort, or something that they will carry with them, something that they like. So it might be that they carry Haribo or some sort of sweets that they know will boost their sugar quickly, or dextrose tablets. So ask them if that might be the case, help them to find it and take it, and if they feel better, that is great. If they don't feel better, then you need to have a further chat with them and see if there's anything else you can do, and maybe they have a chat with their diabetes nurse specialist and get further advice. If you have given them a sugary drink, that will give their blood sugar a peak, but what needs to happen is they need something sort of carbohydrate based to actually sustain it. So something like a jam sandwich or something with some more substance to it will actually maintain their blood sugar a little bit more and just help them keep that blood sugar up where it should be. Obviously they will be checking their levels after this as well. If you had got completely wrong and their blood sugar was high and you've added to it by giving this, don't worry, it's a drop in the ocean. They still need to speak to their diabetes nurse specialist, but you haven't done anything wrong or made anything worse. So it means that just their levels aren't right and they need extra help and support from the specialist side of things. If you're looking after a child in particular, or actually anyone who is diabetic and their blood sugar has plummeted before they go to bed, it's really, really important that you make sure that you give them something to sustain them through the night. So you don't want to just peak that blood sugar and then it drops steadily over the night. So if you are babysitting someone who is diabetic and their blood sugar has gone down, it would be sensible to speak to their parents and ask them to speak to the diabetes nurse specialist and get advice as to what you should do to ensure their levels are up. And I would also be checking their levels before I left them for a night's sleep as well. So I hope that is helpful. Obviously, if somebody is unconscious, you would never ever give them anything to eat or drink. So this is for someone who is diabetic, who is having some sort of a hypo, but sometimes when you're feeling that rotten, you just need a bit of extra help, and so it's how to help them. So you are communicating with them, and they are taking this food of their own volition. And you are always asking consent as well. If somebody is unconscious, then they will need help. If they're unconscious and breathing, you will need to put them into the recovery position. If they're unconscious and not breathing, you would start CPR, and you would always get the emergency services on the way. I hope that's been helpful. That's Emma Hammett from First Aid for Life and onlinefirstaid.com.